G'day peeps, I'm Sheila Burgher and welcome to Heart Talks. Now look you guys, this awakening is a very personal and unique experience. There's as many paths to this awakening as there are us, okay? And along with the awakening comes abilities, divine abilities. And that's unique too. Every one of us have different ones. Some of us on this awakening path find ourselves out in the stars, and we realize that we really are stars. And when you know of your cosmic citizenshipness, it opens your world really big. And some of us have even found our galactic selves, where we have found ourselves in our family or our galactic team. And when you find yourself as a galactic part of that family, your life changes. Everything changes because now you're looking at everything from self, from compassion, from a love that is within, that has nothing to do with out here. And when you become once again united with your galactic family, you become completely devoted to this big plan or mission or divine awakening, whatever you want to call it. We know we have a part in that big plan. Some of us in this galactic family have taken on the job as being transmitters or translators or communicators for those on this side who have yet to learn to hear. Okay, and we believe we all are going to. It comes at the proper time. In the meantime, there are some of us who have dedicated ourselves to transmitting messages from the other side to help us all in this awakening process that we're in. Once you take on that mission, it takes a lot of courage to find your voice and make it be heard. When we call ourselves brothers and sisters in the galactic world, we mean it, because that's what we are. Today, my guest is my brother, Vell Zimmerman. He has found his voice, he's found his purpose, and I am so happy to have you here on Heart Talks. Thank you and welcome, my brother. I love you.
Thank you very much for having me, Sheila. It is an honor to be here. And once again, yes, you have spoken a whole mouthful. What a beautiful introduction. I really appreciate everybody's presence. And once again, this is more about just sharing our expressions as who we are as individuals and being one with the Creator, which is the invisible essence that is love, given this dimension.
All right. Would you like to share a little bit about, maybe how you came to find your voice and how you found yourself in this beautiful light that you are?
A very integrated process, let's put it that way, just to keep it really simple. we all have, well, certain souls who've basically cultivated a sensitivity to their path and their presence here on earth, have basically experienced a calling, like a yearning deep within yourself to know what this is we're experiencing. When things don't resonate with what you know to be true within the heart space, and you find yourself in the midst of certain situations, just that, that just don't, it just doesn't fit, doesn't resonate. It's like, well, this doesn't make sense, or the case may be what the logic will express. This is something that's encoded within your being. Of course, we are on incarnation paths, and this happens to be the culmination of many after at least 26,000 years of cycles over and over again on this planet, where the energies that we're experiencing are very strong and potent. Being that we all, in this particular lifetime, knew that ascension would be taking place during this path and this embodiment of our beings on Earth. We've set up very specific encoded light paths, indicators, clues, and things of this nature on our path to align us with our purpose. Some more sensitive than others, but this is all aspects of spiritual maturity. Mine happened to be a couple different things that happened very young. I was very influenced, or I resonated with religion very early in life, because I love the idea of spiritual hierarchy and a greater power that existed within me that was basically founded in love, where we all are one family. Of course, with dealing with Christianity, where I'm from, Richmond, Virginia, eventually dealing with that whole construct, I ended up being somewhat disappointed in a couple of different events, being kicked out of church for wearing jeans and knickknacks and things of this nature. That's kind of ridiculous when you're talking about unconditional love and God in general. These things kind of turned me off, and I ended up getting into other things and walking another path where I knew that I was here to do something with some spark inside, and basically all the things that happened from that point forward synchronized myself into where I am now. It's a couple different things, very long story as far as me growing up as a youth and going to school and work, and somewhat being raised in the inner city, and then making moves and so on and so forth. And joining the military, trying to get into school, and finding out that was rather distorted, making a lifestyle for myself based on money and possessions and so on and so forth. I came to a point where I am now, which is more so embracing my creativity and awakening to who I am as basically Commander Ashtar, Archangel Michael, expressing the divine truth of who we are as one family.
That's beautiful. Where and what are the ways that you are you having an opportunity to share these messages now? I know you're pretty busy, and I know that everything you do is in the foundation of this unconditional love that you know.
Absolutely. Well, currently my daily routine is more so waking up and expressing as much as possible as far as the divine truths of the galactic integration that's taking place on the planet, the transitions that's really integrated within our experiences. I find ways to do that via my Facebook blog page. Also do this over Twitter, some of the social networks where I'm able to share this information with a broad spectrum of people. And I also have a gift of poetry and music, where I share this light-footed information through my music on a daily basis. And this is these are the platforms that I'm embracing at present. Of course, along with spiritual guidance, and more so just being a gentle beacon amongst my experience and all the different relationships that I've established since I've been here in Germany.
Yes, and how is Germany? I mean, do you feel like you have a past presence there?
I do. Like I said, being that this life is a culmination of many, there are no mistakes. Like, as far as our experience now is very potent, where all the relationships, the contacts, the people we meet, the locations that we are, this has been designed by the highest self in a way that is conducive to the most potent experience where a lot of things are actually coming together after all this time being here. So Germany provided a space that was quite different, a contrast from what I'm used to being around in the States, where there's a lot of media influx and it's a lot of influence, a lot of noise, and kind of, it's really busy. When I came here, it's rather conservative. You can go outside at 8 o'clock at night in many places and be totally quiet. As an artist and a creative person, I find that, I find many gifts in that, where being here, I've been able to cultivate the voices within, the knowing within, where I'm basically allowing the inner essence to flourish without a whole lot of influence. So it's been very helpful.
That is nice. How lovely that you would get that foundation so that you can really concentrate and keep your vibration high and maintain your course.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, Lavelle, I know you have so many loyal followers. And what do you think? I mean, let's point out a message for those who are so touched by your messages. What is it that you think is really touching them the most at this time?
Well, I really I think the most potent aspect of what I do is my ability to open my heart and know the purpose and point of even communicating in the first place. And that purpose is to connect. A lot of times when we get into spirituality in general, we love to play around with some of the context and spiritual jargon, some of the more elaborate words and some of these things where it's not necessarily it's not about attempting to throw everybody off with, all this context. I'm more not even dramatically involved. I'm more so just open the heart and know the purpose of communicating anyway, which is, words only clothe feelings. And I wish to clothe those feelings in the simplest manner possible, because the purpose of even expressing these things is to connect. We just want to speak to each other. At the end of the day, our natural or the more refined way of communication is more through feeling. Of course, being telepathic prior to being in this particular incarnation, we want to communicate with each other. And like I said, the ego would, like to project a intellectual image and things of this nature. It's just that reality is already one with infinite intelligence, and this complexity is natural. It's just that there's beauty and simplicity. The truth is simple, and the point of even communicating is to connect. So this is what I wish to refine behind or beyond so many words and so many details. It's about being. Peace is the truth, and there's no communication in the state of peace. It's more so just a sense of being, a presence, a frequency. So right, this is what I cultivate.
And part of I know part of my training was really understanding the whole concept of frequency, that all of us are frequency and vibration that can be adjusted. Mm-hmm. There's where we have that control. And I've also noticed that people right now in their awakening states, I think one of the things that we can do is really help point out, because we have perspective, a bigger perspective, that we can help people point out how unique and wonderful their journey is, and that they don't have to look out for anybody else's journey. And hopefully here at Heart Talks, that's what I'm doing, is I want to introduce everybody's unique way of how they're coming alive and using their abilities. And those abilities it's interesting when they first kick in, because unless you've got somebody to talk about to them, sometimes you're just not quite sure what to do with them.
Absolutely.
And you know, when I had mentioned that, you know, it takes a lot of courage to find your voice and share it. And I'm happy to say that you have found yours and are sharing it well. What about this radio station that you've got on? What is it, on Fridays or?
I've actually just recently changed it to Wednesday. So it'll actually be Wednesday afternoon in the States Eastern Time, but Wednesday evenings here in Germany. It's being hosted by Married to Change. It's a blog talk radio station. And there I'll be doing annual show every Wednesday talking about ascension, gentle communications and conversations. We'll have guests and call-ins where people can ask questions and basically have a good time. I wish to make this as informal and comfortable as possible because I need to relax and open up.
Absolutely. That's important. Yes. Yes, because that's another thing is we want to lay out the safe and a supportive foundation so that people will feel like they can share because their story is just as unique and wonderful as anybody's, and sharing tools. You know, that's something that we can do as broadcasters is to let everybody share their tools and how they use them, because sometimes, you know, even though the path is unique, we can still use the same tools. I'm speaking of a tool called Bring It Back to the Now, which is absolutely the first tool that's right here in the tool belt, because when you get lost, you just bring it back to the now. Well, and can you tell me, okay, you know, in being a transmitter, it is an actual relationship.
Yes.
Do you want to talk about, you know, for those who will find their voice and find their connection, could you talk a little bit about the relationship you have with Ashtar and Michael?
Know that in actuality, there's no separation from myself and Ashtar or Michael, an actual embodiment where there's quite a difference. Where in actuality, the physical frame that you're seeing or communicating with is but a physical frame. Like my essence is one with a group consciousness of 140 to 1,000, where I have these lifetimes. There's no books or rituals that I go through. It's just a natural expression where the more sensitive I am, the more I'm able to express from the true self within the heart space that is who I am, where the physical vehicle is more just a construct that operates within the 3D hologram. Like this body that I'm in is more so a 3D hologram where my true self is another expression, like another physical frame on another dimensional plane, which is, of course, beyond the 3D, but we actually entered through a time portal and came back into the past, if you will. But there's quite a few different expressions and means of communicating, and you have the light represented in the goals, and of course the starseeds being a little bit more intricate of an expression in the physical frame than what others might be. It's just that this is something that is, wow, it's a really, really complex reality. It's just that when you realize it and you know, just know beyond anything the logical mind can actually comprehend. But each and every individual has the ability to cultivate this connection,
right,
through their ability to remain present. And the more they cultivate that peace within themselves and focus within, the sensitivity is rather potent. It just takes a lot of focus and practice, and this is all in one's free will. The more questions and external effort, if you will, that you invest, the more farther away from this connection you stray. I mean, of course, it's natural to kind of have a grace period where you're searching and attempting to find out what's going on, embrace your own embodiment, who you are, and searching for meaning, and so on and so forth. It's just that once you realize that the outside is an actual holographic reality, in truth, you began to take the true journey, which is within oneself. The more experience, the easier it is to reestablish this connection for myself. I am in a young embodiment, and I'm 33 years old in this particular body of present. It's just that, like I said, since a very small child, I've been really, really aware of this point. Here, it's just it took a path for me to cultivate in order to realize. But once you realize, it's like night and day. But taking that internal path comes with quite a few upheavals that are necessary to go through. So you realize who you are as an invisible essence versus the physical body.
So, for what would be your advice to people to help raise their vibrations and to get to that point and make it clear that really once you get into that, you're there, you know it. But if you're not quite there yet, what are your techniques for getting to that space? Are you into meditation?
Relax. Yes. Relax. This is the greatest advice a person could possibly have. Is to relax and let it go. Because it's so many different you feel a sense of release when you hear the word, and that release allows the mind's activity to dissolve. There's a sense of clarity when you just relax, just calm down, let it go. This is a huge process. It's very necessary to be gentle with yourself, beyond all the mental analysis of where you are and how evolved you are, and what you need to do, what you need to eat, what you need to drink, what you need this, and all of these things are just illusions. Let it all go. It's very important to forgive, and self-forgiveness and unconditional love for self is the foundation of all of this, because there's a lot of resentment amongst the spiritual community where when we realize the truth of our experience here, we wish to project, and the mind sees in separation, so it wants to label, and oh, this is wrong, and this is good, and this is bad, and all of these things. This is still based in separated natures. At the end of the day, everybody is doing exactly what they're supposed to. They are exactly what they're supposed to be. And in actuality, you're experiencing those expressions for the purpose of your own healing, where your ability to accept what's being presented in front of you, regardless of how horrendous or distorted it may be. It's about you having the strength to allow it to take place without attempting to change it.
That is it.
To change it. Let it go. It's an illusion. And this is where meditation comes in, because in actuality, the experience, the vibration, the essence within yourself beyond the physical illusion, when you close your eyes, this is the foundation of your experience. This is where what you're seeing is created. So what's going on in the inside is basically the foundation of what you're seeing. It's just,
it's just already in there, guys. You're not getting it out here. There's nothing out here to get. It's already in there. You don't have to eat certain things. You don't have to read certain things. It's in there, and you couldn't have said it better. Relax and let it come out.
Absolutely.
Wow.
It's about, so, like I said, the more relaxed we are, the more clarity there is. And like I said, it's very complex, and there's a bunch of different factors that are beyond the logical comprehension of the mind, its analysis. I get a lot of mail, a lot of responses from some of my posts, and they're usually very extensive, explaining all the different factors and so on and so forth of what's being expressed. It's just that these are all physical factors. It's just that divinity is, love is, there are no mistakes here. And when you realize that, you can just basically cultivate the essence within, when you're focusing on the experience that you intend to experience versus that which you don't. And this is what's necessary to cultivate, especially within the energies that are very, very potent and growing each and every moment while we're here. You mentioned during this transition, this is absolutely important.
Right. And there is the whole healing aspect of this as well, because the light comes in, it shows out the dark, and there are moments when giving birth to a darkness is not pretty, but essential and wonderful afterwards.
Absolutely. Just that when you realize this, these energies can be harnessed and you can allow a graceful path to take place where the more you cultivate that essence and embrace your own sense of balance, once again, upheavals do take place. It's just that the more you're aware of the foundation of your experience and you allow the event to take place, the less you aid the potency of the upheaval through your own balance. And sometimes you actually even resolve the need for upheaval just by remaining present and cultivating a more peaceful expression and realizing the truth of what you may be experiencing. So it's a matter of the individual. Where once again, the more inward you focus, the more gentle and graceful the experience is. Absolutely.
Well, okay, so now if someone would like to get in touch with you, let's give them some places to get in touch with you.
Okay. Well, I could be contacted on Facebook at Vell Zimmerman. So one word, LeVellZimmerman. And then there's also Universal Brothers. There's a fan page as well, which I update on a daily basis. I've ran out of space on my Facebook page, of course, but I'm going to post public for view, and I post in a couple of different groups. I used to post in a lot of different groups, over 30 or 40 on a daily basis. It's just that it became a hassle to do so on a daily basis, that many groups. And it also aids me in being able to release more output, more balance, without having so much time. And then, of course, I'm also cultivating the music, which contains light codes, it's light magic, and actuality, where basically inserting all the information from the transmissions into the music, where the feelings that are within, or the frequencies and feelings and information that are expressed within the communications and transmissions are also inserted into the music, where a lot of people can actually receive beautiful transmissions through those works as well. And that's under soundcloud.com/Universal Brothers. And I think I'm somewhere around 426 tracks at the moment. So they're free to download as well. So I do this on a daily basis.
Really, folks, if you go listen to the music, listen to those lyrics, because they are beautiful messages to the world. And thank you for that. Thank you a lot. Well, what have you got to say about what's coming to our planet?
Oh, it's absolutely amazing. Love is amazing. It's very important to realize that there's nothing to believe here. Belief systems are located to much confusion. Belief systems are based in, or beliefs in general are based in the idea that something could or could not be true. This is an aspect of insanity. There's nothing to believe about your love. All is. Love is, and it's beyond logical comprehension. The heart is responsible for amazing creations, everything that you can imagine. I mean, something as simple as when an illustrator creates a cartoon, he's creating that cartoon based on intuitive imagery, where in actuality, these realities exist. It's just that he's able to conjure and see the visions within himself, and which can translate it to paper and color and animation and things of this nature. It's just that we live in an infinite universe of infinite possibilities. What is there to believe? If there's any question, that's a question. There's nothing to believe about reality. This is fear. Let it go. So
that message right there could be talked about for hours and hours. I think it's important for people to kind of understand the difference between belief and knowing. Because we've been living by belief for all this time. And it's only in this awakening that we're coming to knowing. And there is a huge difference. And thank God for that, because it does take the doubt away.
Right. So, this is the liberation of humanity. And we've been experiencing, everybody has a path. And without a shadow, without the compassion I have for myself and my own path, this is basically something I can reflect throughout each and every individual, because I realize that we all are part of the one. And we all have these paths that we've traveled that are they're very intense. So complete compassion goes out to everyone who's dealing with their own realizations. It's just that once we move to different aspects of our experience or our evolution, we began to realize the truth and release the sense of doubt and inconsistency and worry and fear, and basically embrace the love that is, and know that we are loved beyond anything we could possibly imagine.
Wow. Well, thank you so much. What a wonderful message. I look forward to attending that radio show on Wednesday. I've been in one where the people got to interact, and that was really nice. And it would be great to have that someday. So,
absolutely.
Well, Vell, thank you so much. I love you. Thank you for all of you listeners for making these shows possible. It's with those little likes and those comments and those follows that keeps this show going. I have seen the ripple. I know that even this little Heart Talks radio show is making a difference. And it's because of you guys. So thank you very much. From my heart to yours, peeps. Namaste.
Okay.